Sylvester told me dying Ian Smith needs help but lacks the will to live. Cherry's live stream sparked something in Ian, thanks to a connection to a woman named Yvette. Melissa's desperate for Cherry to get into an elite school. I got an interview spot mysteriously. Lisa just warned me that my father, Henry, is plotting something big against me. What's Henry up to? And how are Ian, Yvette, and Cherry connected? The city buzzed around us as Logan drove the car. I visited your father's place today, and I overheard him talking to someone on the phone. And? I asked. Lisa hesitated, then spoke. Nora, he was talking about destroying you. He said he'll get the money you owe him by hook or by crook. I remained silent for a moment, then. Don't worry about it, Lisa. My voice was calm. I'll be careful. Thanks for telling me. After disconnecting the call, Logan turned slightly toward the back seat. Cherry, you sounded like you know who Yancey is. Just as Cherry opened her mouth, I shot her a sharp look. Cherry! Cherry immediately clamped her mouth shut. I'm not allowed to tell anyone, she murmured quietly. Logan smirked. Now that just makes me even more curious. Cherry's eyes darted toward me, asking for permission. I gave her a pointed look. She sighed, shoulders slumping. Sorry, Logan, she whispered. He didn't look satisfied, but he let it go, for now. Soon, Logan pulled up to the grand entrance of Golden Sunshine School, slowing the car as he approached the gates. As he rolled down the window, a security guard immediately stepped forward with disinterest. Please park outside. Visitors aren't allowed to drive in. Logan frowned. We're here for an interview. The guard simply pointed toward the designated visitor parking lot outside the gates. With a sharp exhale, Logan turned the wheel and parked at an empty spot. I unbuckled Cherry's seatbelt, took her hand in mine, and stepped out. Logan followed a few steps behind. Just as we reached the entrance, a sleek Rolls-Royce Phantom stood up at the gates. Without hesitation, the guard stepped aside, waving the car through without a single question. From behind me, Logan scoffed. Maybe we should have brought the Ferrari. Once we got inside the gates, we saw that the interior of the school was grand, almost like a 5-star hotel. Logan scoffed, his arms crossed. I don't want to be rude, but this place isn't for kids like Cherry. You don't have to prove anything. I turned to him. It's not about proving anything. She needs the right environment to thrive. Lowering myself to Cherry's level, I met her wide eyes. If you can stay here for 3 months without revealing who you are or using any family influence, I said gently, I'll grant you one wish. Cherry's face lit up. Anything? I smiled. Anything. Logan sighed, as if they'll even let her in. Logan expected a grueling interview, but instead of a long, drawn-out process, the principal simply handed me a neatly folded bundle. This is Cheryl's uniform. She can start tomorrow, he said with a warm smile. Logan's mouth fell slightly open. His eyes darted between me and the principal, confused. Wait, what? That's it? His voice held pure disbelief. I accepted the uniform with an easy smile. Thank you, Principal. We appreciate it. I turned and walked out, holding Cherry's hand. Logan, however, remained frozen in place. But what about the interview? The tests? The process? He struggled to make sense of it. The principal chuckled. Oh, they were exempted from the process. It's lengthy and would take weeks. We didn't want Miss Smith to go through all that. When we got the call from someone in corporate about Miss Smith, we had already started preparing the uniform. Logan swallowed hard before quickly following us outside. The ride home was unusually quiet. Logan just kept staring at me without saying anything. Once we reached home, we heard a sharp, high-pitched voice coming from the living room. Why didn't you wait for me, Melissa? I was only an hour and a half late. I walked in with Cherry. Logan followed. Melissa stood in the middle of the room. Across from her, Miranda Wood, dressed in designer brands and jewelry, sat on the sofa. You need my help to get into a school like that, you know? Miranda added. Melissa shifted uncomfortably. Someone else helped Nora get an interview. Miranda's eyes fell toward me and Logan. Oh well, that explains it, she said dismissively. You must have failed the interview. Before I could respond, Cherry's innocent voice cut through the room. People have to do interviews to get in? Miranda blinked. Logan smirked, his arms crossing. We didn't go through an interview. Miranda's expression froze. Whoever gave you that recommendation must not be very influential, she scoffed. retrieving a letter from her purse. Extending it to Melissa, she continued, "Take this. Just mention my name at the school tomorrow." Melissa hesitated. Just as she reached out, Miranda suddenly let go. The letter fluttered to the floor. "Oops," Miranda said. My hand slipped. Melissa stiffened, staring at the letter on the ground. I stepped forward, placing a gentle hand on Melissa's wrist. My voice was cool, unwavering. "We don't need the letter." Logan bent down, picked it up, and tossed it onto the coffee table. "Keep it, Aunt Miranda," he said lazily. Cherry was accepted without an interview. Miranda's face hardened. "That's impossible," she said sharply. "Only the Hunts, the Smiths." Logan cut her off. "Doesn't matter. Cherry got in. Her classes start tomorrow." Melissa exhaled in relief. Miranda, however, clenched her jaw in frustration. As I took Cherry's hand and started up the stairs, I heard Melissa mutter under her breath, "It must be Justin. He must have helped Nora." Miranda's sharp whisper followed. Justin Hunt." A pause. "Who exactly is your niece, and how on earth does she know Mr. Hunt?" Melissa only smiled. "Oh, they know each other. That night, I was trying to sleep when my phone suddenly rang. I groaned, but the moment I saw the name flashing across it, my drowsiness faded. Justin Hunt. "Hello, Miss Smith." His voice was smooth. I rubbed my temple. "What's up?" A brief pause. "Your Aunt Melissa just called. She wants you to invite me to lunch, as a thank you for the recommendation letter." "Of course." I should have known Melissa wouldn't let it go. I opened my mouth to protest, but before I could even get a word out, his amused chuckle came through the speaker. "So when are you planning to invite me?" I shut my eyes briefly, realizing there was no point arguing. He wasn't going to drop this. "Might as well get it over with," I muttered. "Noon tomorrow?" A small hum of approval followed. "Okay." Then after a pause, his voice lowered slightly. "About the recommendation letter. I didn't tell your aunt it wasn't me. Want to keep it that way?" "Yes, please." For a second, silence stretched between us, comfortable yet charged. Then I casually added, "And about lunch? You should bring your son too." I could almost hear his hesitation, then noted. The next day, the Anderson mansion was quieter than usual. I was heading toward the door when Melissa intercepted me. "Did Cherry go to her first day at school?" I nodded. "Yeah, I dropped her off this morning." Melissa hesitated for a moment before continuing. "Okay. There's a dance party in a few days. You should come, meet some people." "Sure," I muttered absently. But Melissa wasn't convinced. As the door shut behind me, I heard her murmur to herself, "What if she doesn't know how to dance?" From the couch, Simon said, "Then don't dance. Simple. It's a dance party, Simon." "I'll call Cheryl's dance teacher. At least she should learn the waltz." When I almost reached the location Justin sent me, a subtle smile tugged at my lips. I'm finally going to see my son today. When I reached the restaurant, I was taken to a private dining room. When I opened the door, my eyes immediately sought out the familiar figure I had been waiting for, a hopeful smile forming, until it abruptly vanished. Justin sat at the table with a coffee cup in hand. "No, Pete." My jaw clenched. "Where's your son, Mr. Hunt?" My voice was steady. Justin took a slow sip of his coffee before responding smoothly. "He has classes." Of course. There was no Pete, just Justin. A quiet sigh. Reaching for the coffee in front of me, I took a sip. Justin raised an eyebrow. "That's Hacienda La Esmeralda. Quite rare." I barely blinked. "Tastes like coffee." He chuckled. "You have no appreciation for the finer things, Miss Smith." Before I could respond, a waiter entered, setting down an exquisitely arranged plate in front of him. "Great," I said flatly, eyeing the dish. "We can leave when you're done." Justin picked up his fork before replying. "I ordered 6 more courses." "You're joking." Justin took a slow, deliberate bite. After a few minutes of silence, he finally broke it. "So, how's your daughter? Adjusting well?" His tone was casual. "She's fine." He leaned forward slightly. "And your new family? Settling in nicely?" I exhaled. My patience was running thin, and I had no interest in indulging in his probing questions. "These are all boring questions, Mr. Hunt." Justin smirked. "Oh, what would you rather discuss?" My gaze flickered to the bottle of wine on the table. Without breaking eye contact, I reached for it, spinning it between my fingers. "Let's play a game," I said smoothly. "Let's play truth or dare. There's no need for games. You can just ask, Miss Smith." I leaned forward slightly. "Okay, How did you and Pete's mother come to have him, Mr. Hunt? The smirk faded from Justin's lips. For the first time during the entire meal, his voice carried a warning edge. Be careful with your questions, Miss Smith. Justin's warning hung in the air, a chilling reminder of the power he held. I knew I was pushing, probing at secrets he clearly intended to keep buried. I wondered, what was he hiding? Who was Pete's mother and why was their story so dangerous? And most importantly, how far would Justin go to protect his secrets? And what would it cost me to uncover them?